Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Detectives. Great to have you back with us again. Before we go on, I just want to say thank you on behalf of Neil and myself for all of your input, your feedback, your comments, your subscriptions and your likes. It's been really useful for us to be able to get that feedback from you and for the suggestions on topics that we can cover in future episodes. Today we got a great episode for you. A lovely personality, somebody who I first met probably 15 years ago when I was in IBM, and then worked with her at the IBM European headquarters for technical support over in Helsinki. So it's great to be joined by Ourania Odermatt. Today, she's the Managing Director of Avaya in Switzerland and Austria. She talks to us today about her principles of operation, her personal behaviours, her respect for people and running a team. There's some fantastic lessons here from a leader who's built up a great career, has taken on great responsibility and has won great respect with the people she works for. So a fantastic story to listen to. Please join us, enjoy and learn. Take care. Good afternoon. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Leadership Detectives. Great to see you here. So Neil, how are you doing? It's good to see you again. Busy week this week, right?
Busy week this week. Yeah, we got some great weeks, some great guests. And again, we're joined by a fab guest. So let's just introduce Ourania straight away. So we're privileged and honoured to be joined by Ourania Odermatt from Avaya. She's Managing Director for Switzerland and Austria today for Avaya. And we've known Ourania we've just established probably 15 years. When we've probably longer actually, but at least 15 years. And it's great to have you here, Ourania. Lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm fine. Happy to see you as well. Happy to be here with you, and I'm honored actually myself to be able to join your your leadership detective sessions. I'm looking forward for the discussion.
No, it's great for you to join. I really appreciate it. And you're in the beautiful mountains of Switzerland as well. So we're really jealous sitting in wet and cold the UK.
Well, don't be that jealous because it's the first day I'm seeing the sun now for a couple of weeks already. So we realize that the sky is still blue, which is a good surprise, and the sun is still shining. So it was very grey. But the difference is that now everything is white and sunny.
But Ourania, I'd rather look at the snow than look at the tarmac outside my door, right? So that's fine. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining.
So look, let's start with a question that kind of helps introduce you to the audience. So if you were being invited to speak in an auditorium to a mixed group of people, how would you want to be introduced on stage? What would you want the audience to know about you personally, business? You know, who's Ourania Odermatt?
Ourania Odermatt is a crazy Greek person with a really impressive way. Starting going back years when I graduated in Greece, actually, going through. Actually, I think that I have the best education because I'm a school teacher. I was a school teacher. I has been educated as a teacher. That's my university degree, and I'm always saying that a teacher and what I'm doing right now as a country manager, a managing director, or whatever is the job role or the job title, doesn't really matter. It's the same because you have still the same targets. You have a group of people that you need to bring together. You need to identify what is the strong points and the weak points and build a team and have targets, which at the school is not necessarily financially targets, but it's a target still, and you can't just leave someone behind because then you haven't been successful in your role. So I'm a person that I love working in a team environment. I'm a team player, very fair team player, but at the same time, it's obvious to me that just the title is not necessarily many people will follow you. there are other qualities that you need to bring along, and that is the clear strategy, the clear message, the confidence, the empathy, and that is a very important point. So Ourania Odermatt is a person that likes to take responsibility, to lead, to help develop the people. It's a very important task for me, extremely important task for me, because you can't be a leader without having coaching your team. They need to have the same dream. They need to have the same direction. So I think that goes back to my previous story as a teacher. So I want to give to the younger generation or to my team something from my experience and help them grow as well. And that's me. That crazy person.
No, but I think that's a really good picture. I think people can see what you're about and what's important, Rania. So that's fine. I just want to go back to something you said there. Actually, what you said very early on was about the whole team needs to come with you. And I think you qualified it later on by saying part of your role is developing people, right? Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting challenge, right? How do you feel about the fact you might have a team, let's make a number up, 20 people, and one of them's not performing good? How do you approach that?
You need to go individually. I mean, it's not just a team together. I'm reaching out to each individual. So I'm really investing time with each one. And by the way, I have 40 people, but it doesn't matter. And of course, you have sub teams. So you need to be able to invest the time with each one of them. Yeah. And not only, you need to invest the time, not only from the business point of view, as a human point of view. You need to understand what are the pain points, what are the challenges they're facing, because whether we are going to accept it or not, our personal life is impacting our business life. So if someone has issues at home, for sure he will try not to bring with, but the human nature is that it's impacting you, it's impacting how you feel in the morning. So it's very important for me to see what's going on and to have this human connection with my employees. So and that requires time. So it's time consuming as energy. You need the energy. I need to be honest with you. There are days that are really feeling like I don't have the energy anymore because I have invested the energy. For me, I'm not thinking, I'm doing that because that is part of my nature. I need to do that. And at the end, you need to, as you mentioned, one is not performing. You need to understand why and how then we can act as a team and work as a team to compensate or to help that person, that individual, to come along with us. Fantastic. So it's a very multiple ways, yeah.
Fantastic.
So when you said you have to invest time in people and you have to invest time in being a human being, a leader, leading humans, how do you find that time to do that? Because most leaders struggle with finding the time just to run the business. So how do you find time to manage to lead with the people as well?
That's a good question. You need to create the time. You need to put some priorities, and you need to manage your time accordingly. I'm not going to lie to you. Nothing is perfect. Like working 9 to 5 does not exist, obviously. And I think that each one of us picking up that role, accepting to be in that function, realizes that it's not a 9 to 5 job. So you need to have, and you are in multiple channels. You need to take care of your business, of your clients, of your partners. But then you need to manage your time. And I'm very much focused on how to prioritize and manage my calendar, because the time I'm not gonna ignore is the time with my individuals, with my team. It's in a weekly management system, needs to be there. Sometimes can take only 10 minutes, sometimes can take 1 hour. So I'm trying not to put that kind of discussions within a slot like you have a business slot, right? I have that opportunity to discuss. It's 30 minutes, that's it, let's go to the next one. Yeah. This one is open-end if needed, and I'm arranging my calendar like that. You need to find the time.
So you actually schedule time in for your people each week?
Yes. Okay. It's from the beginning of the year, the whole year, each one has its slot. Yeah. And I'm leaving some before that and after that. I'm always having some time that I'm planning. So it's not like I'm limiting them to this 30 minutes or 1 hour, whatever. Yeah, I'm doing that.
So that's really interesting. So you're making time and scheduling it. And I just want to go back to something you said early on when you were introducing, you said, Rania is a person who likes to take responsibility and likes to lead. Why?
I don't know. It's I think it's cultural. It's character. There were people potentially say that I'm a control freak, which could be, could be. But you need to find the positive aspect of being control freak, because I'm really empowering my team. So yes, I was. It's interesting because goes back to a session I had when I became people manager in IBM back then. And we spent a week, these good times that IBM was really investing time on that kind of education, on soft skills and people management education. And it was a very interesting week. I get to know a lot of lovely people around the world. And then we have a special session about time management and delegation. And of course, that is, everyone says you need to prioritize, you need to delegate. And it was one vice president who said, delegation is great, empowering the team is great, it's a must to have, but at the end of the day, you need to be on top of your business. And I think that I have this sense that I need to see I'm empowering my people, I'm helping my team to stand up, I'm exposing my team at the same time supporting them to the upline management, but I have never up to now lost control of end-to-end what's going on. I need to know what's going on. I don't need to have all the details, because I say if I'm going to have all the details, I'm going to do it myself, which is not the idea, right? So, but I need to know what's going on and how I can help and support the team. So it's character, it's how you think you should run the business, and up to now, it's working actually.
Yeah. Do you know, I think it's a great story, and I don't know everybody knows your story, Rania, right? Because as we were saying just before the call, you and I just realized we haven't worked together for 15 years, right? I didn't think it was that long, but it's 15 years.
We're getting older, my friend.
We are getting older, unfortunately. But you know, the great thing is you are managing director of Alpine in Avaya, right? When I met Rania, guys, she was the executive assistant to the general manager of Europe in our division, right? You've come a long way. I mean, not that job wasn't tough, because I know what the general managers were like. Oh. That was a tough job, right? But you've come a long way. Couple of things in my head on that, Rania. One, how did it happen? And two, was it planned? Was that a planned journey, or was that an evolving journey? So how did it happen, and why?
Planned 100% was not. Actually, it's an interesting point, because I joined IBM back then when we met each other from another, as I mentioned, I was a school teacher, right? So then my journey is a little crazy, because I was a school teacher in Greece, then school teacher in Switzerland, no idea about IT and so on. Then I love to be challenged. I didn't think that I'm always thinking that you need to go ahead, to move, to develop, to do something different. You don't need to stay focused on something because you learn something and then you need to stay there for the 100 years, right? Although I have to admit, I love my job. I love working with kids. I was a little creative. I was giving school here in Switzerland to the Greek schools and so on. And then when we have to move, I said, okay, what I can do next? And then I changed to marketing in airlines, and then came IBM. So when I joined IBM, I have to tell you a funny story. So the first things you do is just to get your laptop, and you have 1 week to get to know about logins and so on and so forth. Yeah. And it was a quite challenging week. So no idea, right? You need to learn how to survive in a corporate environment. So I was always saying to myself, I was looking to the people sitting outside, having coffee, being in IBM with 100 years and doing various jobs. And I was saying to myself, they're not more clever than you are. I mean, if you are,